Welcome to Increase, where it is my task to increase, illustrate, and inundate you with information, knowledge, and overall help cause you to think. And I'm your host, Alpheus Gibbs Sr. Hey, what's going on, good people? It's your boy Alpheus here on Increase. Listen, man, I'm so excited. Today's Monday. You know, we here on the eighth month, 8th day. And so we look at that as new beginnings. And so, man, I'm excited about the new beginnings of your life. I want to encourage you to push forward, push ahead, and make no mistake about it that you have a plan and a purpose for your life, and you need to push forward. I'm not even up on what episode this might even be, but the truth of the matter is that I'm glad that you guys are on, and that your life is changing. It's forever growing. It's forever changing. Um, and so today, I really wanted to just share some thoughts on how adaptable are you? Not only just as, a leader, wherever you are, manager, entrepreneur, but just as a person, how adaptable are you? Because your adaptability really sets the tone and the precedent as to how versatile you can become. When you are adaptable, you are a person who don't run away or don't shy away from situations and circumstances, but you're a person who takes life as what it is, and you're able to turn lemons into lemonade. You're really able to take whatever the situation is that you're in and begin to customize it to the best of your ability. You take a situation and make it work for your good, even when initially, what I'm saying, it feels harmful, or it doesn't start out like you want it. When you are adaptable, you're the kind of person who is able to look at life from a different perspective. You're able to look at it and go, where are the opportunities that I can begin to advance? Where are the opportunities that I can begin to make the necessary changes so that the situation fits me? And I think a lot of times when we as people approach life and approach life's choices and life's demands, that we come oftentimes looking at the negative first instead of looking at the positive. And it really goes back to the mindset that you have as a whole, right? If you are approaching things from a positive mindset, then it allows you to begin to see opportunities when others don't see it right off the bat. You're not even looking for someone to come in and go, well, did you think about it this way? Or did you see it that way? You honestly come in with it already pre-innate in your mind. Like, I want to see what else is there. You're the kind of person who doesn't even take what a person says about another person at face value, because you would rather get to know that person before you even entertain what somebody else feel about that person, right? So my question is, how adaptable are you? Because that's truly one of the determining factors of your success. Is how adaptable are you? If you're not adaptable, then don't even look at being an entrepreneur. I mean, let's just be real. Don't even look at even trying to take a managerial position or any kind of leadership position, because you're not, you're not that kind of person who is ready to roll with the punches. You're not that kind of person who is waiting and willing to even try to bring some kind of change to the situation. You're the person who finds all of the wrong, or lets people know how uncomfortable you are. And speaking even on that, when you are, a person who is adaptable, you already understand that you had to get comfortable being uncomfortable. But the truth of but also in that same manner, you're also a person who says, even though I'm uncomfortable, I'm going to make sure that at some point things are going to be in a different way, in a different light. And so you start making necessary changes. When you are adaptable, you understand like there's things that initially that you can't change, because you're trying to survey the playing field. You're trying to survey what's going on around you. You're trying to make sure that whatever it is that you're walking into, that you're able to um see yourself doing it, right? So the more I see myself being able to do it, the more I begin to find opportunity. Then the more I begin to find the opportunity, the more I begin to figure out, okay, I can automate this, or I can make changes over here. And as you're doing all of these things, then you're able to go, okay, now let's live. Okay, or now I can, send this portion over to someone else, and really be better at your time management, begin to be successful in whatever the situation is. And so to my increased family, I want you guys to really look at it. Today's Monday. This is the 8th month, the 8th day. And so this is your new beginning. And so your new beginning starting out with is going to be, how adaptable can I be? Now, being adaptable doesn't mean that you're taking down to who you are, or that you're changing who you are at your core, or at who you are as a person. But what you're actually doing is saying there's more to it than what's being presented to me right now, and that even though this is what it is right now, it's not going to always be that way. And so I'm here to make whatever steps need to be made so that I can get to where I got to go. Everything is a plan, everything is a process, right? Everything is a plan, everything is a process. And one of the things that I think we look at in society is that it's either, once you present it with the situation, it's like, all right, that's it. There's no changing it. Or you're dealing with someone who's older, so you like, well, I can't teach an old dog new tricks. Nah, it's a way that you can approach every situation to bring about an incremental change. And even if the person initially, or however long, doesn't seem like what you've done or what you said has changed their life in any capacity, you also got to look at that they're doing things that you don't see, or they're around people that you don't see, and that incrementally their vocabulary is changing, their outlook is changing. And so for some people, it takes a little bit longer for them to become adaptable and become moldable. But because you are who you are, you need to continue doing that. I want to encourage everybody today to really just look at the fact that Your life may not be what you want it to be. You may not have everything that you want to have, but that doesn't mean that everything has to stay the same. And that sometimes we think adaptability is survivability. And here's the truth of the matter is that just because you're surviving doesn't mean that you're adapting. You're just doing whatever it takes to live and to get by. But when you are adaptable, you begin to do the necessary changes so that what is inside of you can overpower what you are around, right? Think about it. If you go into a room and you're in a room with the Jay-Z or you're in a room with the Warren Buffett or whatever, he may be nervous because he's never met you. But as they get in the room and begin to do what they think, they begin to change the atmosphere around them. They begin to get adaptable. They begin to adjust their vocabulary so that you can understand where they're coming from, but they're not going to take down. They're going to make the atmosphere around them change. And that's what I want to encourage somebody today, that you've been surviving and you be like, oh man, I'm adaptable, I can, no, just because you're versatile doesn't mean that you're adaptable. And so when you get solid within yourself and you know the vision that you have for your life is clear and you know exactly what it is that you want to do, no matter what room you walk into, begin to fill the room out, see, what's going on or whatever, and then begin to make those changes so that the people now get adjusted to who you are and what you're bringing to the table, what you're bringing to the room, the things that you want to bring to pass. And the people who don't get with it, those are the people who you're going to find in the outskirts of the room. Those are going to be the people who are going to always just have something to say, but they're not going to do anything. And you can't dictate your life and your day based upon the people who are just talking. Because here's the thing: people who are not working always talking. People who are working don't have that much to say because they got work to do. They got a job to do. They got things that's happening for them. If they're in the planning process, then they're reaching out, networking. But that's it. They don't have time for the small talk. And I think a lot of times, in our pursuit of trying to bring our dreams to pass, that we do a lot of small talk and it gets us nowhere and we get frustrated. But when you're adaptable, you got to put yourself in rooms and around people who are doing what you want to do, but they're doing it at a higher level. They're doing it at a pace that you dream of doing it, but the people around you ain't doing it. And so it may cause you to separate from people for a little time. And it may cause you, what I'm saying, to really begin to just look at YouTube clips so that you could begin to learn the language of the room that you're about to enter into. And you may have to find yourself shadowing somebody who's in that particular industry to do what they do. Or you may have to find yourself talking to individuals who are doing it, but they're like what you call like an angel investor, or those people who are a silent investor. They have an investment within it, but they really don't work on the day to day. But whatever it is that you have going on, make sure that you find yourself being adaptable, not to the people who are not trying to do nothing, but being adaptable and being around those who are doing it at a greater level. You know, um, because right now, if you're not, you're wasting time. I think we wasted enough life, energy, and source in trying to love people who don't want to love us, befriend people who are not even trying to be, cordial or anything. We try to be around people who, we may be blood related to, but the truth of the matter is they don't have no care for you. And so even though that's a hard pill to swallow, and you may not even want to hear that, sometimes you just have to walk away and go, I did the best that I could do. And I'm not gonna stop loving, I'm not gonna stop being who I am, but I gotta push forward. And that's really what it is when you're adaptable. When you're adaptable, you realize, like, I don't fit everywhere. I can't put my energy and my thoughts and my everything into stuff that's not gonna produce, that's not gonna be beneficial to me or my family. And sometimes, that's a hard pill to swallow. And it take a process to get those feelings unwound out of you. Because again, just because, what I'm saying, people for a long time, or just because you want something to happen really bad, doesn't mean that other people want that. And so you have to be okay with that. And it's the same way even when it comes to um, people who you want to work with or people who you've known all your life and you want to bring them onto your team and you want to, what I'm saying, be a blessing to them. But if they're not in the mindset to get that, if they're not adaptable like you, then they're gonna do nothing but bring you down. And again, I know that's a hard pill to swallow, but even Jesus said, listen, the poor you're gonna have with you always. It's always gonna be somebody who is gonna have a story as to why they can't do what they do or why they not where they need to be at or whatever the case may be. But they can find the time to do everything else. You know what I mean? And so the same way you had to be adaptable to your surroundings, you had to understand that what I'm saying, I may be a little goldfish, but I'm in a pool full of sharks. So you gotta, what I'm saying, do what you gotta do. You gotta hide out for a little bit till you get some size. And so you had to adapt to where you were, but you also made sure that you were protected. You made sure that you were able to do what you had to do. And I think, especially with today's society and everybody trying to be internet famous, people have no loyalty or no real connection to people. You know what I'm saying? You value those solid relationships that you have, and those that are not, you just have to move on. And that's again, that's a very hard pill to swallow, and everybody's not going to be able to receive that. If you want to go back to school and people like, well, you 40 or you're 50 or whatever, why you want to do that? It's like, listen, this is what I want to do, and you got to pursue after that. And so I just wanted to encourage everybody, like, today is your new beginning. This 8822 August 8th, 2022. This your new beginnings. This your time for you to start over. Hit the reset button. Wipe slates clean. Let people be who they're gonna be. Forgive. Let bygones be bygones. Live your life without regret. Move forward, but understand that, what I'm saying, I had to be adaptable. I had to understand that everybody's not going to be for me. I had to understand that everything that what I'm saying, that's around me ain't about me. People may post all the time and they may try to throw shade at you or throw salt on what you got going on, but that has nothing to do with you. That's a personal matter with them themselves. You had to adapt to being around individuals who, what I'm saying, who would try to sabotage what you have going on. Or you may be around people who want you to be successful. And you had to adapt to the fact that now you're around supportive people or that you're around people who, what I'm saying, have no ulterior motives. So it really truly is about a mindset. There's a book by Michael Googans, who is a ex-Navy SEAL and special forces and everything. And he talks about how everything is a mindset, and to be adaptable, it really truly is a mindset. You got to just get it in your mind that I'm going to be successful. I got it in my mind that I'm going to be loved and I'm going to love on people. I got to get it, you got to get it in your mind that, it won't always be like this. And the more I continue to grind at what it is that I have, the more I begin to get closer to what I want. And so everything isn't going to be instant. You know, everybody was clamoring trying to get those lottery tickets because they, the mega ball was, over $1 billion, but only one person, won it. But at the end of the day, you can't put all your eggs in one basket. You got to spread it out, and you got to make sure that, even when one thing doesn't seem like it's working, you got to keep plugging at the other stuff that goes on. That you kind of got to look at life kind of like if you're watching a football game, and wide receiver gets the ball, and he got all these guys after him. He got to do some spin moves. He got to do some stiff arms. He got to do whatever it takes so that he can get to the goal line. And that's how you have to be even in life. Like some people, you got to give them the stiff arm. Other people, you got to do the spin move. But whatever it is, make those changes, make those things happen so that you can make your dreams happen. Because truth of the matter is, and a lot of people are frustrated about this, is that they lived their life trying to make sure everybody else was taken care of. All the while, they didn't make their dreams come true. All the while, they put themselves on the back burner. And so now they walking around, they bitter and they're angry, they're envious, they're jealous, they whatever. And it's because they spent so much time helping everybody else build their house that they didn't even take time to build their own. And so now they looking up and they in their 50s, 60s, or whatever, and they like, I don't own nothing, I don't have nothing. And you like, well, I made sure that I took care of you and I did this for you. But it's like, but did you really help me? Because if you would have helped yourself, that would have helped me at least know that, what I'm saying, if you was able to endure all the things that you were able to endure, then surely I'll be able to endure the same things or something similar and get through it because you were like an example. But when you live your life, trying to, do for other people, and truth of the matter is, you did it for your own personal clout or whatever, then you see the results that you get. So you want to just ask yourself the question, how adaptable am I? If they put, this one thing, and I'm gonna say this so I could move on, but have you ever thought about this? People who are truly wealthy or truly have, a special skill or talent, no matter where you put them, right? They always gonna succeed, or they're gonna revert back to, the beginnings and figure it out and work it out. And I'm reminded of like Iron Man, for instance. Iron Man is over, the first movie or whatever. He goes into like this um desert like place or whatever, and he begins to create, because at his core he's an engineer, at his core he's a thinker. And so even with limited resources, even when he don't have all the tools that he would normally have, he was able to create an iron suit out of, what I'm saying, scraps and bombs and other kind of stuff. And so my question is, are you adaptable like that? If somebody was to take you and put you in a different city around people who you don't know, gave you limited resources, could you reproduce what you have right now? Could you be able to not only survive but overcome the obstacles that'll be presented to you because of where you are and what you're going through? That lets people know how adaptable you are. That's why when you go on job interviews and they ask you, in the past, when you were faced with a certain kind of situation, that's specific to this job, how did you overcome it? Or did you overcome it? What sort of things did you learn? So on and so forth. Because they want to know, how adaptable are you? Are you going to share an area of your weakness, but also simultaneously let us know what you learned about yourself as well as the job? And so that's how people are even in life. They listen at you and you tell your life story. They listen to you and you talk about your family or whatever, but they looking at you and they're going, well, how did you adapt? Or did you adapt? Did you fold when the pressure came on? Did you run? What sort of things did you do in order for you to get to where you are? Did you ride somebody else's coattail? And so right now it looked like you prospering, but the truth of the matter is that you're nothing but a leech. You're nothing but a parasite. You know what I'm saying? You're nothing but, these kind of like a bacteria or whatever. Like, you just living off of a host. You living off of really somebody else. Or did you really go out there and grind, get it out, or did you take your skill set that you have and begin to create nothing out of something, you know? or something out of nothing, excuse me. It's that kind of understanding and mindset. So that's my question for you on Monday, going out the rest of your week. How adaptable are you? How focused and determined are you to get to your goal? How hard are you going after the things that is really near and dear to your heart? Right? Because right now, you may have a plan. It may not even look like people even gonna, want to pay for it, or it don't look like it's a service that's really needed. But if you work at it, perfect at it, you may never know where it may lead you, and other skills you may learn along the way that will be profitable to you. Everything isn't always about money, and everything isn't always about love. But when you bring those two things together, you'll find that everything is really wrapped up in your passion and what's your driving force. So going out the rest of this week, going out, even the rest of today, how hard are you going to go after the things that you want? How hard are you going to just look at your obstacles and go, I'm not going to let you stop me. I'm not going to let you hinder me. I'm not going to let you, slow me down at any moment, but I'm going to pursue after everything because I know I can do it. I know I can get it done. And I'm letting my work speak for itself, because after all of it is done, after the dust settles, Everything that I said I wanted to do, I was able to do it. Whether I was with a team of people or I was a team of me, you know, that's really the name of the game. And so I want to close out with just saying, how adaptable are you? Where you at? What you got going on? How adaptable are you? Are you gonna fold, or are you gonna stand all on your 10 toes and do what you got to do? Are you gonna, allow your circumstances to stop you? Are you gonna pursue and push forward to make it happen? I think that those of you who are part of Increased Family, I think that you guys are gonna push through, push past your fears, and really make it happen. And so I applaud you already, and I can't wait to see you guys on the other side. You guys have an amazing day. Enjoy the rest of your week. And I can't wait to see you guys on Friday when we're going to pick up this conversation and talk about some other real things. So God bless. Y'all have a good day.